Hello, good morning, students. Good morning. Yes, how are you? I hope you are doing well. Done. So, you have studied what all I told you yesterday. Good morning, good morning. Yes, I am good here, Akshara. Abhigina, Aksh. All of you, good morning. Fine. So, we are done with the last class about the type of the ovary, right? Ovary we discussed, right? So, when we call the ovary superior, anybody? Can you tell me when we call the ovary is? Yeah, I'll give it. Tell me when you call the ovary is superior. When we say that ovary is superior, yes, anyone? You have learned it, na? I given diagram. Just check the diagram and tell me. When we say that ovary is superior. No. Hypogynous is the name of the flower, Akshara. If the flower has ovary which is superior, we call it as the hypogynous flower. When the ovary is present on top of the other corals, Abhigna is right. Top of the other corals andre calyx, corolla, androecium. Okay, we call it as the superior ovary. Good. So if the flower is having superior ovary, we call it as a hypogynous flower. Okay, are you able to see? Listen to me properly now. You are able to hear me, na? Fine. So still some of the students have to get in, right? Only 28 of you are there. Okay, if the flower has superior ovary, we call it as a flower, as a hypogynous flower. What is epigynous flower? Anybody? What is epigynous flower? What's the meaning of epigynous flower? Spelling is wrong. The one having inferior ovary. The flower is called as epigynous if it has a inferior ovary. Correct. So if the flower has half inferior ovary, what we call the flower? If you find the half inferior ovary, what we call the flower? It is a perigynous flower. Good. That's right. So everything is done. You will have to write notes. That's it. Right? So write the heading types of ovary based on the types of the types of ovary based on its position. Written? Write down. First one, superior ovary. The superior ovary is an ovary in which it is a type of ovary which is located above other three whorls. It's a type of ovary which is above the other three whorls, that is calyx, corolla and androecium. It is calyx, corolla and androecium. Then next, the flower possessing superior ovary is said to be epigynous flower. Is said to be what? Epiella, hypo. You should tell me. Above the three whorls, calyx, corolla, androecium, and the flower is said to be hypogynous flower. Flower is said to be hypogynous flower. Okay. Next, Such a flower, such ovary is represented by what sign? There is one sign I given, no? What is the sign? G on the at the base. A dash under, good. Dash under, good. There should be a G, below that there should be a dash. Correct. Okay, right up. G with a dash below. Write that, don't write dash below, write G with a dash below. Written? Next. Example, hibiscus flower. Example, hibiscus flower. Next. What to repeat? From where I should repeat, Sujal? You tell me. What to repeat? I don't understand. What you want me to repeat? Which one you want me to repeat? Now you came in. What should I do? 2 minutes over? No. You want me to the whole sentence to be repeated? Okay. I see. You should be on time. No. You cannot expect that when you come, I will repeat everything. Okay. What I said is, I am repeating. The ovary, when located above all the other three whorls, that is calyx, corolla and androecium, it is said to be superior ovary. It is said to be superior ovary. Next. The flower possessing superior ovary is called hypogynous flower. The flower possessing superior ovary is called. Arey yaar, wait, don't confuse. I am repeating. No. Hypogynous is superior ovary. The flower possessing superior ovary is called hypogynous flower. Next. It is represented by the sign G with under G there is one line to be drawn. I hope you understood. G with one line below. Example, hibiscus. I repeated. Okay. Again, if the people come now, I don't repeat. Second one. Inferior ovary. Okay, it's okay. It happens. Right? Inferior ovary. See, if it all you missed, you do one thing, you ask for the video, read it, go through it, and you will get it. Revision is very simple. Actually, it is far better than the class. If you come to the class late, nobody will repeat it. But here, anyway, we are doing videos. You can ask for the videos, no? Recorded videos. You can go through them. It's a very simple thing, actually. Easier. Technology is more better than regular thing. No, don't say sorry. If you something is missed now, you can ask for the video, recorded video. Okay, done. Next one. Inferior ovary. If the ovary is located below all other three floral whorls, ovary is located below all other three floral whorls, calyx, corolla and androecium. Calyx, corolla and androecium, it is said to be inferior ovary. It is said to be inferior ovary. Done? Done? Normally in this ovary, thalamus form a cup over the ovary. Thalamus forms a cup over the ovary. and covers it completely. Thalamus forms a cup over it and covers it completely. Next, the flower possessing inferior ovary is called epigynous flower. Epigynous flower. It is represented as G with the line above. G with a line above. Next. Example. Apple. So I hope you have seen apple. No, what we eat is the thalamus only, not the ovary. Because ovary is inside. What we see, no, the hard part with the seeds, that is ovary. We cut it off actually. It is not edible. Only thalamus is edible, right? Therefore, it is the inferior ovary. Example, apple. Underline it and write that edible part is thalamus. Edible part is fleshy thalamus. Edible part is fleshy thalamus. Then next. One more example, right? Pomegranate. You know, pomegranate, you see, no? The whole thing, calyx is covering the whole of ovary. Pomegranate, you have seen? Correct? Yes. In that, the whole thing is covered by the colorful calyx. What you remove is a calyx. Okay, write it. Pomegranate. Third one, you write half inferior ovary or semi superior ovary. Half inferior. Guava nalli actually calyx irutte. It is actually half inferior. Guava also is somewhat like that, but not fully inferior. Next, right? Half inferior ovary or semi superior ovary. Semi superior andru onde, half inferior andru onde. Semi superior ovary. Underline. When the ovary is covered by thalamus cup, up to half the length, thalamus cup, up to half the length, and the other three whorls originate from the middle part of the ovary, mid part of the ovary, it is said to be half inferior. It is said to be half inferior or semi superior. Next, flower possessing half inferior ovary is called perigynous. Flower possessing half inferior ovary is called perigynous flower. Whole pyara. Okay. Anyway, it is written, let them, because I am just saying it on my own. I am not writing anything. Again, I repeat, the words will change. Anybody, if you are written, they will type. Wait, Ritika. Anybody? Starting one line, you just type and send her. When the ovary is covered by thalamus, half of its length. Correct. Half of its length. Correct. Nandita has sent, no? You can see, no, Litika? Okay. Half of its length. Okay. And the other three whorls originate. No. She said it's okay, no? Enough. Originate from the mid part of the ovary. It is said to be half inferior ovary. The flower possessing half inferior ovary is called perigynous flower. Example, rose. You are written rose, no? Okay, done. So that's it about the story of our ovary and other things. We will now move on to the next portion. Okay. What is that we are dealing in the next class, next part? Once we are done with the ovary, I'll just give you on the board the details of that. Okay. So we are done with the ovary. Gynaecium is done. Now the last thing in the gynaecium we have to write or study is something called placentation. Very important thing I left. I have to do it. It is called as placentation. So what do you mean by placentation? It is the arrangement of the ovules on the nutritive tissue called placenta. Do you understand this? So what is placentation? This is the last thing to learn in this. Placentation. What is placentation? It is the arrangement of placenta on the nutritive tissue called arrangement of the ovules on placenta. I write it below. Placentation. Okay. What did you learn about this? It is nothing but the arrangement of ovules on placenta. Okay, this is called as a placentation. 1 mark definition you have to write. What is placentation? It is nothing but the arrangement of ovules on the placenta. Now, types of placentations I'll give you. So, right from the beginning, I'll give you types of placentation. The first type, right? You can see now. Okay, first type I write here. You may get in beans and pea, you are saying, take the section of the beans and pea. You find this is the ovary. Transverse section if you take, you get a placenta at the margin. This is placenta. To this ovules remain attached. Have you seen such thing? This is called as the marginal placentation. Marginal means it is arranged at the margin, right? First type is marginal placentation. Example for this is pea plant or beans. It is arranged at the margin, right? Okay, fine. Second one. Here you may find the ovary like this. And it is a polycarpellary, multicarpellary, or pentacarpellary syncarpous ovary. You get number of ovules like this. These are the carpels. Maybe 5 or 6 I am drawing. These are the carpels. And all the carpels are originating from the center like this. And here you will get a placenta at the septa or axis. Sides and the center. The placenta is here. And in the center also. This is the placenta. And ovules remain attached to this. Hope you can understand this. This is the arrangement of the ovules from on the axis. This is called the axile placentation. Right? This is the second type called as axile placentation. This is seen in the hibiscus plant and also tomato, all that. Hibiscus also you have it, and tomato also you have it. This is called the exile placentation. Okay. Then third one, if you take the ovary like this, you will find sometimes tricarpellary but unilocular ovary. Okay, this is the one having. So you can see the empty place in the center. Can you make out the space? Actually, it looks tricarpellary. 3 carpels are there, but locule is one. Single, monolocular, unilocular. But the placenta is at the periphery. Here, placenta is there. To this placenta, ovules remain attached. Okay, this is called as parietal placentation. Third one is a parietal placentation. Parietal placentation, did you understand? It is attached to the periphery. Which example can you get me? What is this kind of example where you get the seeds at the sides, peripheral area? Can you give me the example where you find this? No, okay, not papaya, cucumber. See, you make it like this, it becomes cucumber. Right? It's a cucumber. Cucurbits and all. Even papaya, I think you get it. But there you will not have unilocular condition. Anyway, this is called the parietal placentation. Example is cucumber. Okay. Fourth one I'll write here. In some of the plants, you can see here, this is the fruit. You take the section. This is the outer layer. Then middle layer is drawn into number of folds like this. And here there will be placenta found freely at the center. This is the placenta. To this the ovules are attached. This is called as free central placentation. Actually, I have drawn almost the same way, but there is some difference. Here what happens is the folds are formed by the ovary wall. Actually, later when it becomes a fruit, the endocarp becomes the juicy sac-like things. These are edible. This is seen in citrus fruit, right? In citrus and all, you get this kind of arrangement. This is called the free central placentation. Okay. Then the fifth one is called as the basal placentation. I will draw it here. See the difference you can make out in all of them. This is circular ovary. Okay, like this. Maybe placenta is normally in this present at the base of it, on which a single ovule is present. It's called the basal placentation. Here it's marginal. So on what basis you call it is marginal? Based on the stem axis. Suppose stem axis is here and it is like this, it is marginal. If stem axis is here, it is present like this, it is a basal placentation. It is seen in example of mango. This is seen in citrus fruits. Did you get all of them? This is a 5-mark question to in examination. To draw and explain. Okay, good. Cucumber, citrus fruits, everybody is right. Okay, right writing placentation. One line you write the heading, then you start drawing. First write the definition. 1-mark question, definition. Placentation, it is the arrangement of ovules. It is the arrangement of ovules on a nutritive tissue called placenta, on a nutritive tissue called placenta, within the ovary. Within the ovary. Within the ovary. Write the side heading, types of placentation. Draw all the 5 diagrams, big ones, properly, neatly. All the 5 diagrams. Don't want stem axis, just I wanted to tell you why it is marginal, why it is basal. You need not to draw stem axis for this. Video is blur. Is it blur? Somebody saying video is not proper. Little blur. It is blur. I'm not finding anything blur. Little blur. I'm not able to understand, ma'am. It's sometimes little blur. I'm not able to see. I'll just close this. Wait. Now we are able to see. Excuse me. Now, how is it now? Still it is blur, huh? Rohan is saying it's blur. Too blur. Array, yeah. Focused in my thing, it's coming properly, no? I'm observing it is very clear in my thing. On my screen, it is coming proper, no? It's very clear now. How it can fluctuate? Maybe your internet problem, dear Nikhil. Some internet issues will be happening with you, I think. Hey, I don't know. It's very clear in my pic. My screen is clear means you will get in your screen also very clear. I can see one dot also very clearly in my screen. Okay, are you able to draw all of them? No, I don't have to manage here. I have everything facility. I don't want to waste that facility. So you can see me clearly, no? I'm clear, no? All this, everything, one small thing also should be seen clearly. Then what is, why the board is not clear, I don't know. Did you finish drawing? Yeah, it is clear, dear. 2 minutes I'm waiting. Board is also clear, man. Okay, fine. Okay, Rohan is saying already done. Others are they're distracted. He is saying he has done. 5 minutes, Chanmasappa is asking me. Okay, 5 minutes, huh? Exactly, I will ask. Take 5 minutes. How much it is? Okay, 9:58. Almost 9:60. You should finish. 65. Done, all of you. Did you all finish? Okay, write down. First one, marginal placentation. When a single ovule attaches to the placenta, attaches to the placenta located at the margin, located at the margin. It's called marginal placentation. It is called marginal placentation. In this, ovary is unilocular. This ovary is unilocular and monocarpellary. Unilocular and monocarpellary. Next one. Example: pea, beans, etc. Second one, axial placentation. Axial placentation. In a multicarpellary syncarpous ovary, in a multicarpellary syncarpous ovary, already you know what it is. In a multicarpellary syncarpous ovary, number of ovules remain attached to the placenta found on the axis. Number of ovules remain attached to the placenta found on the axis. 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 Next. Third one. Example: hibiscus, tomato, brinjal, etc. Brinjal, etc. Next one. Parietal placentation. In a tricarpellary syncarpous, unilocular ovary, In a tricarpellary syncarpous unilocular ovary, ovules are located at the periphery at the periphery I repeat, in a tricarpellary syncarpous unilocular ovary, ovules are located at the periphery. The arrangement is called parietal placentation. The arrangement is called parietal. Understood? No? Likhita? I repeated. Parietal placentation. Then, next. Next to write precentral placentation. Precentral placentation. In this, placenta is found freely at the center of the ovary. Placenta is found freely at the center of the ovary. And ovules are attached to this. Attached to this. Example, citrus fruits. Example, citrus fruits. Okay, I repeat. In this, placenta is found freely at the center. And ovules are attached to it. Then, example, citrus fruits. Last one, write basal placentation. Basal placentation. In this, ovary is monocarpellary unilocular, and a single ovule remain attached to, I said in this ovary is monocarpellary unilocular, and single ovule is attached to the placenta present at the base. Single ovule is attached to the placenta present at the base. I repeated Chandana Chanbasappa. Done? Thank you. Okay, did you finish this all? It's a 5-mark question. Because 5 diagrams are there and you can write definition and then draw these and explain 1 or 2 lines like this. Okay, actually you would have seen right by now how important are diagrams in biology, right? You have learnt it now. Biology, you need to draw a lot of diagrams, right? And drawings are not to be very artistic. Just draw, they should look like that. Okay, now we'll move on to the next part of this, that is about the fruits. Fruits I'll give you, and then seeds, then only adjust function get over. This is all about the flower. Complete flower description is over now. After fertilization, this will become the fruit. So let me give you something about the fruits now. Okay. So you know that fruits are formed after fertilization of the ovules or ovary. So fertilized, ripened ovary is called as the fruit. Fruit is definition is, it is the matured, ripened, fertilized ovary. We call it fruit, right? The fruits we classify based on, actually fruits normally when you observe, you will find 3 types of the fruits. So first keep observing, then you can think about it. Simple fruits. Next is aggregate fruits. Third one, multiple fruits. See, very important chapter is this: simple, aggregate, and multiple fruits. These are the 3 types of fruits, right? What do you mean by simple fruit? Listen, if one flower produces 1 fruit, it is said to be simple fruit. From single flower, single fruit is formed, then we call it as a simple fruit. Don't see fruits and then analyze. You have to see the flower first and see that in one flower, from one flower only 1 fruit is formed. That is called the simple flower. Simple fruit. Aggregate refers to one flower producing many fruits, right? Normally it develops from multicarpellary apocarpous ovary. I hope you know. Already I have used those words, and in order to tell you again and again what is apocarpous ovary. Many carpels are there. They are all they develop into one fruit. So from one flower, bunch of fruits are formed, not grapes. Don't tell me grapes, because you are not seeing the flower of grapes. Only you are seeing the fruits of grapes. So not grapes. Okay. So don't keep on imagining the answers. I am telling you the first meaning of this you understand, then we'll go to the details of that. Okay. Then third one, it is multiple fruit. It is the reverse of this. From many flowers, 1 fruit develops. 1 fruit develops from many flowers. Did you understand the difference? Okay. So first thing, simple fruits that develop from one flower to one fruit. Aggregate fruit, one flower to many fruits. Then multiple fruits, many flowers to one fruit. Okay. This is how you can classify basically. It's little depth. Therefore, don't imagine anything. Once I explain you, you will understand. Then come to the simple fruits. We have types under this. First one is called the fleshy fruits. Next one it is called the dry fruits. Don't think your dry fruits, all are dry fruits under this, right? You make them dry, eat, that is your dry fruit. But biologically, dry fruits are different. What you think it is dry, right? So, what are these? Fleshy fruits and dry fruits. In fleshy fruits, the fruits outer covering is fleshy. In dry fruits, outer covering is dry and it is non-edible. Okay. Under fleshy fruits, you have different types again. I'll tell you their examples later. First, you have to remember them. First one is called the drupe. Second one is called as the, so drupe is the first one. Then it is your, yeah, pome, right? Then berry. Then, okay, drupe, pome, and berry. Three examples I'm giving you. And the dry fruits again we have types, right? Understand all I'm giving you, right? Under dry fruits we have three types. Dry dehiscent fruits is the first type. Second one is called as second one dry indehiscent fruit. Third one dry schizocarpic fruits. There are three types of dry fruits, right? So understand them thoroughly. And here one more is there, pepo, and fifth one is, whether you can say it or not, hesperidium. Okay. Under dry dehiscent, see, keep watching. There are a lot of fruits you have to study. Therefore, understand properly. Dry means the outer covering is dry. Fruit wall is dry. Dehiscent means at maturity they break open and release the seeds on their own. Right. Under this we have first one follicle. First one is legume. Second one is follicle. Okay. What is this first one? Second one is follicle. Right. And third one is siliqua. Right? Then under indehiscent, they are dry at the peripheries. Outer part is dry, but they will not dehisce and release the seeds. They will have inside only. These are of different types. One is Caryopsis. Right? This is seen in the maize and other things. Right? And Achene. Right? Then in dry schizocarpic, here the fruit is dry only, but it will break into small bits called mericarps. Each mericarp is either dehiscent or indehiscent. Right? In this you have different types again. Nut, cremocarp. Right? Again, we have types under this also. But I have no place here. First you have to draw all these. Then take the aggregate and multiple separately and explain it. Do you understand this? Okay. Write them down. Just heading first, write the fruits heading. Then you need to take the classification. So we have three types, Sipsella also. Now it should not be blur for you because a lot of things are written on the board. No, Sujan, it's not complicated. Keep learning. It looks very nice. It's not complicated. Papa, don't think like that. Right? If you think anything complicated, that means you are not understanding. Once you understand, still I have not explained all this. Once I explain, they look simple for you. Just I given you classification. Write down. Write the heading fruits. Fruit is ripened one flower to one fruit. I'll tell you first. You write this. Fruit is ripened, mature, fertilized ovary. Ripened, mature, fertilized ovary. Did you write it? And listen, all of you, one thing. When you ask these, no, what is this below this and all? Whenever I'm explaining, you should listen to it properly. If you are listen to it, I have written one flower to many fruits, one flower to one fruit. That time you could listen properly. If you're not listen, now you get doubts, right? So each and everything you watch thoroughly, right? Because I will not write the whole story on the board, right? One flower into one fruit, I will not write. While writing, while explaining, and just short form, I'll write it. So don't think that, okay, my handwriting is not correct. No, when I'm explaining, I will not do too much of details. What should I do, Bete? Nikal? Okay, I'll explain you now. First, you write. You don't give me reasons only here. If it is cut and all, again you have to watch this. I don't know. Video you can watch and no disturb ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ನನಗೆ. Okay. So others, when I'm explaining, you could understand now one flower to one fruit, one flower to many fruits, many flower to one fruits. This I told now. If flower cut is there, is it my issue? Later you can have solution for that. No. We have made it very much error free. And you people are simply making it. Okay, it's okay. Write the heading fruit is a ripened, mature, fertilized ovary. Write the types of ovary. Take 2 pages like this. Right? In one book, no, you take both the pages, both two sides, no, like this, two sheets. You take both sides. From here you start writing one side, end with the another one. This much will come in one. These two you take it on another page. Right then. I'll still explain you them. Are you writing? If you want to write, otherwise it will be so big, still we have to explain these two. You need 2 pages means better. If you write in one page, there is a lot of place required for each of them. No? That's why I told you. If you don't want to do, don't do it. It's your convenience. It is better to have fresh 2 pages, Sujal, because there is still a lot of things are there. You should have convenience. Whenever I start new chapter, you should take a new book, new sheet, and then start. Don't write one below the other. Every time when I say new chapter, it is you take a new sheet. Done. Third one, dry syzocarpic fruits. You have to pronounce it as dry syzocarpic. SCHIZO. Syzocarpic fruit. Done. So now I'll explain one by one so that we can get entry into it. Done. Okay, fine then. So let's now talk about each of them. You should tell me what all I have to start with. See, I will start with the group, then say poem. Then you should tell me what I have to start with. Right? The names you should be familiar with. So I'll ask you, what is the first one to start with? You should say that you have to start with simple fleshy fruits. Under that, first one is drupe. Simple fleshy poem. Simple fleshy berry. Simple fleshy pepo. Simple fleshy hesperidium. You should tell me, right? Then only the things will be over. Then simple dry dehiscent fruits, legume. Simple dry dehiscent fruits, follicle. Simple dry dehiscent siliqua. Like this, you should tell me each one. So I given all. After finishing all these, I'll go here. I am erasing all this. I separately take up aggregate and multiple fruits. Do you understand this? Okay. See, this is very important chapter for you. Most of the students know what happens with botany. They will be very careless. Do you know properly? In NEET, 50% questions are from botany, 50% are from zoology, right? So major thing is, see, all the students' mentality, I tell you, our psychology. Students like very much about digestion, circulation, heart, nervous system. This is very nice for them, right? Because it happens seen in you. Okay, heart is like this, digestion happens like this, hyperacid is like this. So you will be all learning human physiology very happily, but you will not study much of the plant structures. Therefore, most of the students will lose marks in botany part, right? So that's the reason I started first with botany only, because first you just understand all this. Otherwise, if I start with zoology, then slowly start thinking why to study all this. But this is what is ultimately food, right? Plants are the ultimate source for food, all of us. So let us learn plants thoroughly. You'll be thinking it's complicated, not complicated. They are next to you. Whenever you are having one apple, you should say what type of fruit it is. When you are having the citrus fruit, what type of fruit it is. So then if you bring that science into life, then science become easy, life becomes scientific. Do you understand that? So always keep that in mind, that this is not heavy, this is not extra. We are learning what is there in nature. Why it is there, we don't know. Why it is like that, we don't know. But it is like this, we are studying. Okay, so take that science into your life, then only it will become easy for you, right? Not only easy, you feel very happy to learn about it every time. Okay, so first one, what I should start with? Ma'am, in hibiscus flower, don't ask me other questions right now, tell me now. Now first one, under the types of fruits, what I have to deal with. So first I am dealing with the fruit selling. First type ಯಾವ್ದು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ನಾನು? First ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ? ನೀವು ನನ್ನ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೇಳಬೇಡಿ, ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Simple fleshy fruits. Yes, good. So under this first one I'll talk about the simple fleshy fruits. Under this what I have to deal with? The first one is the drupe fruit. Very good. So this is what I want, right? So drupe is the type of fruit in which epicarp is slightly thick and leathery. So here always we call it as a fruit wall, which part is edible. So fleshy fruits and the seed irutte, seed coat irutte. Above this there will be a fruit wall. Which part, this fruit wall is edible in this, that becomes fleshy. Outer one is called as the epicarp in the fruit. Middle one is called as the mesocarp in the fruit. Mesocarp. Inner layer is called as the endocarp. Together we call it as the pericarp. Pericarp is the fruit wall. And when you learn about the fleshy fruits, you will be knowing which part of the pericarp is edible. Is it epicarp? Is it mesocarp? Is it endocarp? Or all of them? Right? That's what we learn under fleshy fruits. Because this is thick and fleshy and is edible. Therefore, when I am talking about the fleshy fruits, we will have to mention which part is fleshy and edible, right? So first example I give you in drupe, example is mango. Okay, in mango, the outermost layer, we have seen this is the outermost layer which we have here. This is leathery, green color is there now. This is leathery. In some young time, you will eat this also, epicarp, but normally in the fruit time, it is not edible, epicarp. Then centrally I am drawing a seed with the seed coat, thin one, and the fruit wall around it. Okay, this is the epicarp. Outer one is epicarp. This whole thing, thick layer. Then inside this there is a highly fibrous and fleshy part is there. This is actually mesocarp. And inside the attached to this there will be another thin membrane called as an endocarp present. Right? And this is the seed. So in this, what is edible? Tell me. In a mature fruit, what we eat? Yes, good. We eat normally mesocarp, right? That is in drupe of mango. Mango drupe alle mesocarp is edible. In some of the mango fruits, sometimes you eat the outer part also if it is thin and fleshy. But mostly it is mesocarp which is fleshy with the kind of juice in it. It is edible. So in normally drupes, the mesocarp is edible, right? But another example is there. This is example 1. Example 2 is, I will erase this first. This I told you general, right? Example 2 is the coconut example. It is also the type of drupe only. What is edible in coconut? Tell me. Coconut also is drupe, I told you. What is edible? Tell me, coconut. Have you seen coconut fruit? Epicarp is edible. Come on, others. Endocarp is edible. Endocarp. See, that's why I told you this. You have to listen thoroughly. Normally, it looks like that. Epicarp, endocarp is edible, but I'll show you how it is. So, whenever you observe the coconut fruit, it is the young one, green one. I'm talking about. ಎಳ್ನೀರು ಕಾಯಿ ಎಳ್ನೀರು ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಎಡಿಬಲ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಇದು the hard one surrounding this is the stony endocarp. ಹೊಡಿತೀವಲ್ವಾ ಅದು ಎಂಡೋಕಾರ್ಪ್. ಇದಿಷ್ಟೇ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಇದು, ರೈಟ್? ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೋನಿ ಎಂಡೋಕಾರ್ಪ್. ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಎಂಡೋಕಾರ್ಪ್. ಅದು ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಲೇಯರ್ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಕಲರ್ದು, ಎಳ್ನೀರು ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಇರ್ತದಲ್ಲ, ಇದೇ ಅದು. ಇದು ಎಪಿಕಾರ್ಪ್. ಇದು ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಪಿಕಾರ್ಪ್. ಎಪಿಕಾರ್ಪ್ is not edible. ಮೀಸೋಕಾರ್ಪ್ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಫೈಬರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಕಾಯಲ್. ಹೌದಾ? ಮೀಸೋಕಾರ್ಪ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರಲ್ವಾ? ಇದು ಮೀಸೋಕಾರ್ಪ್. ಇದು any of these three things are edible? Are you eating any of these three? No, you will not eat any of the fruit parts, right? So inside the fruit, normally there will be a seed here. Surrounding the seed, you will get the nutritive tissue for the seed. We call this an endosperm. This become a white part. It is a embryo sac part. So this is endosperm is edible in this. Remember, it may be very understanding is very important. Endosperm is different, endocarp is different. So inside the what you call embryo sac, there is something called endosperm is edible. It is produced after fertilization. Understood? So therefore, in coconut this will not apply. In this mango it will apply. Correct? Write the heading. Simple fleshy fruits. Heading. First heading right, drupe. Example mango. And second one coconut. ಎರಡನ್ನು ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿ. Ma'am, there might be many trees near your house. Yeah, a lot of trees are there. Why you can see the koel bird, you can hear the koel sound, na? Yes, lot of trees, and we stay next to Bangalore University. That is a forest, no? Next to that. It's really beautiful actually. One day I will just focus my camera there and show you. Lot of plants, lot of trees, lot of birds. I don't know whether you can able to see it or not. Just I'll show you. Wait. I'll try to focus there. You can see it or not, I don't know. Okay. I think this is the window side. Can you see the plantations outside? Little bit. Yeah, thank you. Every day we will have a koel bird sitting in my, I have a small garden. It will sit on the plant. I have a teakwood plant, tree is there. He sit there and nicely it will be sing for us. It will be singing for us. It's really beautiful. And all birds ching 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 in the morning they will start off. Really? Oh, I didn't know. I thought you people are totally ignorant. You never heard it. That's nice. Really, it's a lot of plants. Once I'll send you the pic. I'll show you in our group. I'll send you. Lot of trees. Sometimes you feel that from the trees only the sound is coming from these birds. Chick, 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 and all. They make different sounds. Early morning when I go for a walk on my roof, all types of singing. Some of the sparrows and the other thing. Really, Ashraya, Akshaya, where you stay, Akshara? Okay, you first draw. Keep drawing this diagram. Don't get away from that. Keep drawing, and then you can talk. Ambedkar College. Okay, that is little far. Mine is this side. Nagarbavi Circle, left side, near Nayandalli, but back to university I stay. Near SAI, Sports Authority of India. Yeah, almost behind that. Yeah, behind that. It's ground. It's what do you call it? It ends. It starts from my house only. There are no other things nearby my house. Only that university forest is there. Okay, nice. Every day you can hear that sound. I never knew this. Yeah, now I am concentrating. Lot of chirping sounds of birds. Yes, Raksha, you are hearing, no? That's nice. Small kids are playing near because there's a dead end. Nothing will come here. No vehicles come here. So therefore, the children will come and play. Now, anyway, they have become mads because of the lockdown. They are all in the ground, all nearby neighbors, children, and all. They'll be playing. Sometimes I'll chase them off, but when I'm inside the class, they'll be very happy. Yes, kids are also there. Not in my house, they are outside. See the coil sound now. Yes, Toshita, correct. Right now, drupe is a type of fleshy fruit. Drupe is a type of fleshy fruit. Type of fleshy fruit in which in which epicarp is thin and leathery. Epicarp is thin and leathery. Comma. Mesocarp is fibrous, fleshy and juicy. Fibrous, fleshy and leathery. Sorry, fibrous, fleshy and juicy. Next, endocarp is thin and membrane-like. Endocarp is thin and membrane-like. And is almost attached to the seed coat. Almost attached to the seed coat. Then example, mango. Example, mango. Second example, number 2, droop of coconut. Droop of coconut. In coconut fruit, epicarp is leathery. Epicarp is leathery and green in color. Mesocarp is fibrous. Mesocarp is fibrous and dry. Non-edible. Non-edible. From this coir is extracted. From this coir is extracted. Coir is extracted. Next one, endocarp. It is hard and stony. And is not edible. Next, right? Edible part in coconut is the endosperm, which is a liquid in early stage, but gets solidified at maturity. Get solidified at maturity. I repeat, the edible part of coconut is endosperm, which is liquid in early stage. But becomes solid at maturity. And it is a part of embryo sac. It's not a part of fruit, it is a part of embryo sac. Then, okay, now listen. Actually, what happens is this endosperm, which is liquid, no, we call the tender coconut water. This is highly nutritious because it has chromosome number 3 times, and it has all the vitamins, nutrients, and all 3 times. 3N will be there. Therefore, it is more nutritious than having any other drink in this world, right? Actually, that's just I was going through Shri B.M. Hegde, Dr. B.M. Hegde's talks and all. He will always say that coconut water is the most what do you call it? It's like a tonic, right? And earlier and all, in American people, they were not using coconut. Now they have understood this importance, and they have made the whole apartment called the coconut apartment. It seems they will have coconut water all the time in their fridge, right? And we people grow it, we will not even bother about it, right? Coconut is the most useful thing in our whole of fruits because this is having highly nutritious condition. Coconut water it heals the mouth ulcers. It reduces the acidity, it will reduce gastritis, it helps in digestion. Lot of good things are there, coconut water. And if at all you feel some irritation, take some coconut water, apply it. It's very good, right? And coconut, the white one, ಕೊಬ್ಬರಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಕೂಡ ತಿಂದ್ರೆ ulcers ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, mouth ulcers ಅನ್ನು. So remember, all these things what I'm giving is for your life, right? It is not biology studying and writing in examination forgetting. No, it is for your life you are using it. Understood this? Right? Even diabetic patients can have. Yes, they can have. See, coconut is such a like a kalpa vriksha they call, no? You know it, no? Kalpa vriksha yakandre ella part anna use ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ coconut ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ kalpa vriksha ಅಂತಾರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ, right? So now we'll talk about the second one. What is the second thing to talk now under fleshy fruits? Yes, it's a pome. So it's the second one is fleshy pome, right? So pome example is apple. So what happens in apple? Centrally there is a fruit. Okay. Here you find on this the number of seeds. This is only fruit, right? Then this will have a thick layer around it. This is the fruit. The thalamus is growing above this, like this. Right? The edible part is, this is thalamus we are eating. This is the fleshy thalamus. And this is the ovary. These are the seeds. But what we eat is only fleshy thalamus. Therefore, we actually call this as the false fruit. Because we are not eating any part of the fruit, we are eating only thalamus. Therefore, the pome fruit is an example for, the apple is an example for false fruit. Okay. Then third one, what is the third one we have to talk about? Berry, I think, na? Okay. Third one, I think it's berry. See, berry fruit, like strawberry, all that berry, all are berry only. One simple example is our tomato, is also a berry. Okay, tomato you will see like this. Right, normal tomato you draw, look like tomato, right? Tomato fruit. Here we will have calyx. Actually, tomato, potato, and the brinjal and all, you will have calyx still left, even including your chilies. This is a tomato fruit. When you take longitudinal section, you find this one, the locules, and here are the seeds, right? In this outer epicarp is edible. This is the mesocarp and endocarp. Everything is fused. Meso plus endocarp. All are edible along with the seeds. Everything is edible in this, including this placenta. Present here, it's placenta. Everything is edible in the berry fruit. Therefore, strawberry and all, you can eat the whole thing, like that. Even potato, tomato, you can eat whole thing. It's a big one, you cannot eat as it is. You have to cut small baby tomatoes, you can eat whole. Right? This is an example for berry. The example is tomato. Okay? Write down. Second one, you write 4. Third one, you write berry. Draw them. Good. Kirtana said simple fleshy poem. Apple, you draw like apple only. Slight change in the shapes you can make it, right? Apple is somewhat like that. It's not very round. Excuse me. Drawn, both of them. Its notes I'll give you next class. First you draw them both. Time is not there. Did you finish drawing? Meso plus endocarp. Meso plus mesotala. Meso plus endocarp I written. Mesocarp plus endocarp ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Mesocarp ಮತ್ತೆ endocarp ಎಲ್ಲಾನು edible ಅಂತ. What tomorrow? Why holiday? What is there tomorrow? Why holiday? I don't know. Who told you Ashraya holiday? Did you all finish drawing or still somebody is drawing? I'll change the camera. Varalakshmi Pujana. No, gottilla putta. I don't know, ma'am. Okay, 2 minutes I'm waiting. I don't know here. Varalakshmi Pujana. ನನಗೆ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ತಾಯಿ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ. I am all above all that. I never do such lot. Maybe it is there. ಏನನ್ನ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ ನನಗೆ, ರಜಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ನೀನೇನು ಬರೋದು ಅಟ್ಟಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮನೇಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂತಾನೆ ಓದೋದು, ನೋಡೋಣ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದೋ ಏನೋ. ಓಕೆ, he will ask sir. Sujal and all, you are finished? Litika, you finished? Finished drawing? Done. All of you are done? So you are learning them. Whenever you eat the fruit, you think what is it biologically. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಗಬ ಗಬ ತಿನ್ಬಾರ್ದು, ಏನು ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ಎಡಿಬಲ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ನಾಟ್ ಎಡಿಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ರೈಟ್. So see you. Have a Varar Mahalakshmi Puja for all of you. Have you? Wish you good luck. Bye. Fine then. Thank you. Ma'am, you go on the terrace. ಏನು ಬರೀತಿದ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, we're growing pomegranate on the terrace. Very good. Okay, tomorrow you show me if it is there fruiting. Group ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ ನೋಡೋಣ ಏನೇನು ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ತಿಂತೀರಾ, ಹೆಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿತ್ ದ ಬಯೋಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ನೇಮ್, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಿಂದಿರೋ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಹಾಕಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಯೋಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಪುಟ್ ಇಟ್, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಪೋಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹಂಗ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಆಪಲ್ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದಿದೆ, ಆಪಲ್ ಡೇ ಕೀಪ್ಸ್ ಅ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್, ಅವೇ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಕೀಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬಯೋಲಾಜಿಕಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಫೈನ್. ಸಿ ಯು, ಬಾಯ್.